Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah rahman rahim. Welcome back to another episode of 30 for 30. And this year we are looking at 30 beautiful values that we can learn from the Quran. And we are on this next beautiful value. And this is such an important value. And it is the value of honesty, of always telling the truth. So, what does the Quran tell us about always telling the truth? Well, let's go ahead and look at Surah Al Ahzab, the combined forces. And we're going to look at ayahs 70 through 71. So verses 70 through 71 in chapter 33 of the Quran. And this was revealed in Medina. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And I'm going to read the English interpretation. O believers, be mindful of Allah and say what is right. He will bless your deeds for you and forgive you your sins. And whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has truly achieved a great triumph. So what can we learn from the Quran about the importance of telling the truth? Allah wants us to tell the truth and never lie, whatever the situation may be. Sometimes after we make a mistake, we may think that a lie will save us, but ultimately lying will just make us lose our credibility. So maybe we're trying to cover up something bad that we did, and instead of just telling the truth and admitting to it and trying to make it right, we do another lie, which is now you've just done something bad, and then you've done another bad thing to cover up the first bad thing. And then inevitably, you're just going to have to keep telling lies to cover up the old lies, and you just keep doing bad deeds until the whole thing becomes too confusing, and you're going to get found out anyway. So instead of going through all that trouble and all those bad deeds, it's better just to tell the truth the first time, right? And also, if we're known as someone who lies, then people aren't going to trust us. So when people want us to, help them with a project or maybe do something that might be really beneficial, they're not going to ask us because they're not going to be able to trust us. So if we want to be able to, to have strong friendships and be included in projects and important things, then we're going to want to be truthful all the time. And this is what Allah is teaching us. And of course, there's so many examples that we learn from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the importance of being honest, right? And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was known as Al-Amin. And that's why that even though he, was an orphan and not from a very high status tribe, people still respect the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam before he even became a prophet because he was known as Al-Amin. Just his truthfulness, his honesty, his trustworthiness, that elevated him in the eyes of so many people, so that when he became a prophet and began warning people about what he was learning through the Quran, people believed him. And that's why people became Muslim, because they trusted him. So we learn from the example of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that it's also so important to be an honest, truthful person. So by always telling the truth, I can become an honest and trustworthy person. So start that today. Even if you find yourself telling these little lies, maybe to impress your friends, just stop that now, because the more that you tell those lies, the easier it gets, and then those small lies become big lies. Then someday, no one's going to believe you. So let's go ahead and make dua for being more honest and truthful. Ya Allah, help me remain honest and save me from telling lies in every situation. Ameen. We'll see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.